already in progress. We do apologize for the delay and all of the technical difficulties. However, we are here right by the diamond. By we, I mean myself, Greg Cotta, and Sammy Meckler. Sammy, how you doing so far today?
Good. Not a little better than Casa Grande so far, Greg.
Yeah. As the game is already here in the top of the third, we've already had a pitching game, and it's because Casa Grande is currently trailing 4-0 now. As we get rosters and everything updated, I'd like to start with the current game. And Sammy, how's this going so far?
Well, first inning went by pretty smoothly. Casa Grande pitcher Bender did well, but struggled a little bit more in the second inning. Gave up a triple, and a run came around on a wild pitch. Whereas on the other side, Casa Grande bats aren't doing too much in this top of the third. Campolino's just broken things open. Bender just got taken out or moved to left field because he is a big bat in their lineup, but gave up 3 runs, hasn't gotten out yet, and he's been replaced by Parno.
Yeah, so just like that, the score is 4-0, and you mentioned that triple, and that seemed to be a tide changer as a pitch is swung on, chopped toward the 1, and that's going to be 1-3 right there for the first out of the inning.
Yeah, I mean, even though the runners did advance, but
indeed,
that's big that they got an out.
Yeah, the out. See, that's the thing is right there. I'm seeing that what's noteworthy is that out, but you're right. That one out brought some runners into scoring position, and now there are runners on second and third. And coming up to bat now for the Cougars is number 30, Tyler Petit, who doesn't look so petite at all, as he is listed at 6'5" and 215 pounds. He's going to swing right through the first one. Counts 0-1.
Yeah, Petit walked last inning when he faced Bender, but they're looking to do damage here. Their whole lineup seems to be really just hot right now.
Yeah, it seems like the bats are creating more bats. Here's the pitch again. That's a fastball right down the pipe. And now this brand new pitcher, as you mentioned, for Casa Grande is number 31, Eric Parno. And Parno, the lefty, is on the mound, and he's ahead in the count, which, again, it's a small victory here for Casa Grande. And that one looks like it has a bit of movement on it. It's too far outside, counts 1-2. So runners on second and third here. And again, the pitch. Fastball swung on. Chopped foul. Count stays at 1-2.
Well, Parno does look sharper than Bender was looking, especially in the second and third innings. As Bender was struggling to hit his spots in the zone, and when he got the ball in the strike zone, it was really in the Campolino hitter's sweet spots.
So it's now that, as you mentioned, Bender's moved his way to left field as they want to keep him in the office. And there's a swinging strike 3, and things are looking up for Casa Grande as they now have 2 outs, but they are not out of this mess yet, as the Campolindo Cougars again have 2 runners in scoring position and a 4-run lead.
Yeah, coming up is the catcher Amato, who flew out to deep right field last inning, sent it to the warning track, which seemed like, all right, Bender got lucky, but really an omen of tough things to come this inning.
First pitch fouled off. Again, Adam Ramato up to bat. So the count's 0-1. And the pitch called low for a ball. Counts even at 1. So as Adam Ramato hits the plate, awaits the next pitch outside for a ball. So last at bat we had very much a pitcher's count, and here's a hitter's one to follow it up. Swung on, and that's going to go toward right field. It's a liner that's going to go straight into the glove of the right fielder for Casa Grande, and that is, of course, number 23, Jake Ilmore. So Ilmore's going to get that out, and that's going to retire the side. So it looked like Casa Grande, again, we've talked about how they've been really struggling here. They're behind 4 runs, but a glimmer of hope, perhaps?
Yeah, I mean, that could have been much, much worse than it was. And a really nice job by Parno coming in with runners on first and second, and scary situation, no outs, and Campolindo had all the momentum in the world, and their ace got knocked out of the game with 2+ innings. So 4 runs, you don't want to be in a 4-0 hole after heading into the bottom of the third, but really a lot better than it could have been.
And if you think about it, he didn't even get that first out there. So he's already in danger of getting the loss personally, and he didn't even get that third of an inning into the third. So it was really a tough outing for him. Now he's moved into left field, so he's going to have opportunity to help as a bat here. But, Sammy, looking at the Cougars here, blood's in the water. They're going to really just want to continue to blow this one open. I mean, a 4-run lead in the third. Now's your time to just try to pitch the lights out and just try to keep this train moving.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, their pitcher got things going for Campolindo back in the third inning, last inning, leading things off with a triple. And then he came around to score their second triple of the day, but really he crushed one to right center. It looked like it might go out, but he came around to score anyway.
Hey, you and I were discussing earlier that this is quite a deep outfield, and it may be harder to tell from this camera angle, but it seems like some hits that could be home runs in many situations are turning into triples here in Santa Rosa. Here's a bunt that goes foul.
Well, now that Bender has come out of the game, both pitchers from both sides have very similar styles and looks to them. They're both pretty small lefties.
Yeah, definitely. There seem to be some parallels here. Hopefully those parallels can start to work out well for Casa Grande. So runner up first, takes his lead. This is Anthony Bender's at shortstop. Here's the pitch. High for a ball. Runners on first and second here with 1 out. Again, the away red jerseyed visiting Cougars up to bat and leading 5-0. Pitcher looks back at second, goes, and it's going to be chopped toward third. Gloved, and the tag is going to be made at third. Throw to first isn't in time, but the lead runner is taken down, and there's 2 outs this side.
Yeah, nice play over at third. I'm sure they wish they could have turned that into a double play, but that's a long throw across the diamond, especially in high school baseball. Not a play you see more in the college ranks and the majors, but still they get the lead runner, get 2 outs. Now they can get a force at any base, except for home, obviously, and end the inning.
Here's a pitch swung on right into the gap. And the base runner is going to turn the corner. Throw's going to be home. It won't be in time. It is 6-0 for the Cougars. So now that we are again here in the top of the fourth, 2 runs have been scored on this side. Coming up for Campolindo is their left fielder, number 19, Cody Karazi. Awaits left-handed. And the pitch is low for a ball. Again, on the mound right now for Casa Grande is the game's second pitcher of Eric Parno. The lefty started off strong and got himself out of a previous pitcher's pickle, but here he is having a bit more trouble as it seems that the bats of Campolindo just won't let up. Pitch fouled away.
Yeah, Curiosity is the one who had that big triple in the second inning. Two big triples, and then came around to score on a wild pitch, got the first run of the game, and yeah, nice job by Curiosity hustling around the base paths, and that one really, I think, rattled Bender a little bit.
So time is called for that brief moment. And the pitch is swung on as it goes foul, but I'm going to take a guess here, Sammy. Do you think that Campolindo has swung at more pitches than they haven't? Yeah. I mean, really, everything that comes over the plate, they are chopping away, and it is working, this aggressive style of baseball.
Yeah, they've come out definitely with an aggressive approach, and I think the longer the game's gone, the more the success they've had, so they've been more confident, and they think that they can hit everything. And a big part of the game is just mental.
So much.
You think you're gonna hit it, you are. And Curiosity's doing a nice job staying in this at bat. But yeah, they're not looking to walk. I mean, when Bender had some struggles, they weren't swinging at pitches really out of the zone. But if it's near the plate, they're going after it.
And with a lead like this, I say why not. Here's another pitch coming in, and that is low. Not called a strike. I hear some groans from the crowd, but the count's even at 2.
Yeah, tough call for Parno after. I mean, an inning like this, you just want to get out of it, and you think you throw strike 3 to end the inning. It's tough to throw the next pitch.
Here's the pitch, and it is reached for and goes to third. The grounder is gathered in the hot corner, and the side is retired. So just like that, the Cougars are up 6-0. And they are now going to be fielding here to be heading into the bottom of the 5th. Or excuse me, my apologies, the bottom of the 4th.
Yeah, it feels like the bottom of the 5th a little bit because the game has been extended so much by Campolindo's hitting. But Casa Grande really needs to do something this inning against Matt Ladresh. I mean, he's been really stellar so far this game in the first 3 innings, and they have the top of their order coming up. But
well, that's good news for them. I mean, honestly, if you're going to turn it around, it's going to have to be 1 run at a time because I can't expect them to be swinging away the same way that the Cougars have. But I do agree with you in that the pitcher on the mound, Ladresh, he's popping these guys up so well. I mean, there have been so many fly-outs throughout the game. And it seems like his routine, and it's working pretty well with his slow, high in the area pitches, and they just kind of seem to trickle off the bat, and then he doesn't have to throw the ball very often.
Yeah, and they're swinging at his pitches early in that bat and putting it in play. I mean, he doesn't throw super hard, so they don't need like a lot of time to stay with the pitch, and they're putting it in play. And quick outs aren't what Casa Grande wants right now, but they have Christie coming up, who's the only person so far with a hit for the team. So hopefully for them, he can start things off just like he did the first inning with a hit right here.
Fire pitcher.
Yeah, Parno's looked pretty good. Parno has looked pretty good on the mound. He's had some tough breaks with fielding, and he's given up a few hits, but
now we've also seen some struggles in the infield behind him. Here's the first pitch coming low for a ball.
Yeah, Petit, who's up right now, walked and struck out his last time up.
He watches one get past him, counts even at 1, but yeah, he seems to be the only bat for the Cougars that's really struggling too much. But just like Casa Grande, he has plenty of time as a ball fouls off of what I thought was the umpire's shin, but he seems to be okay, so that must not be the case.
Or he's just a real tough guy.
That too. Always a possibility with these umpires. Mcnally in a bit of a jam, and he decided to just run it out, and well, it worked.
Yeah, it's been tough. I mean, it did work, but if the play was made cleanly, he would have been out at third. I think that was Anthony Garotti, who's had a tough day over at third so far, fielding the ball.
Here's a pitch high for a ball. As it looks like we're going to take a moment here as management is going to want to have a quick discussion with the umpire. And by management, I mean the third base coach for the Cougars.
Yeah, and he's looking over to the Casa Grande dugout also. He's a little perturbed for some reason.
You know, the thing is, you and I stand here with earmuffs on to hear each other, and maybe it's good that we can't pick up some of the dialogue from this field, but I think that's what it had to do with. Pitch comes in, it's a ball. Counts 3-1 now.
I have very young ears, so I don't, very pure.
It's safer this way. Swinging strike makes the count, retires the side. My apologies, as scoreboard was a bit behind, and so was my brain, but that's a good strikeout to get to strand a base runner on third. And here we go now into the top of the inning, and Casa Grande, although they only got 4 batters up that time, they still have the 6-0 lead.
Yeah, I mean, it seems like maybe Casa Grande has ended the Campolindo wave of runs. That's the first inning since the first that Campolindo hasn't scored. So hopefully it's for Casa Grande, it's changing the tide. Maybe their bats can follow their pitching a little bit.
I gotta say, there was just a nice huddle called in front of the Casa Grande dugout, and that's what you want to see. And in the middle of the huddle for Casa Grande was one of the team's seniors, Anthony Garotti, who has struggled over at third base, and next to him was Anthony Bender, another senior who struggled and was taken out of the game as pitcher. He's moved to shortstop, but they're the ones who have made several mistakes, and they're the ones telling their team that they need to fix this. So it seems like they have a team mentality. It seems like they're going to try to focus this and try to work this out. I think that now is going to be a very crucial side here in the bottom of the fifth.
Play On Sports is on Facebook and Twitter, giving you news and information and links to great highlights. Follow us at Play On Sports on both Facebook and Twitter. You can also access thousands of live and on-demand games on YouTube at youtube.com/playon-network. Keep up with all the high school action every week. From your destination for high school sports, playonsports.com.
So Casey Longacre, rocking the 4-4, is going to be leading off here.
Yeah, this definitely is the inning to do damage for Casa Grande. Finally getting a shutout in the top of the fifth. And, I mean, they still have plenty of times, 5 innings of at-bats, including this one, but you don't want to get into the latter innings needing a 6-run inning or a 3-run inning to get you back in the game.
Yeah, so the count, 2 pitches go by, counts even at 1. First a strike and then a ball. And as we've been talking about, the pitcher, Matt Ladresh, is doing quite well on the mound as he seems to be able to getting quick outs. Here's another one that comes in for a ball. Then this one, strike down the pipe, 2-2.
Yeah, Ladresh has been really phenomenal so far. I mean, it says on the scoreboard, that one looks like it's fouled off the plate.
It did foul off the plate, and Ladresh was the first to point that out. Yeah. And you could definitely see the genuine nature of it, as that would be a very clever lie to try to pull on an umpire. But Ladresh now, with the count still even at 2, releases. Swung on, lasered to first, gloved, and that first baseman for Campolindo, Trent Shelton, is going to take that one himself. And we've got an out for Casa Grande.
Yeah, sometimes that's just how it goes. That was one of the hardest hit balls Casa Grande's had all day. I mean, it wasn't lasered or anything, but it was a hard hit ground ball. But finds the glove right to the first baseman.
I mean, right to the first baseman. I mean, it was really a worrisome throw. And coming up to bat now is number 35 for Casa Grande. And he is the team's center fielder, Charlie Parnell. Charlie Parnell, obviously the older brother of the team's pitcher, Eric Parnell.
Good observation. I was gonna try and correct you.
As this one is swung on toward right and gloved, and after 2 pitches, we already have two pitches on that at bat. There are 2 outs, and again, Ladresh is having a lot of success here, and it seems like he's having really an easy day.
Yeah, I mean, we've said that Casa Grande needs to take more pitches, but you need to give Ladresh credit. I mean, he's putting the ball in the strike zone. If you take
right,
you don't want to get it behind the count 0-2 every time. So it's natural to want to swing if there's a strike, but just doing a nice job.
Here's a curveball that's chopped on, and the tag is going to be made at first base. And that's going to end the side. Ladresh is going to do that himself. And that's just going to be a pretty little one there. And a grounder there. And that's going to do it very quickly for Casa Grande. It seemed like they might be able to get momentum, but the score still sits at 6-0 as we head into the top of the 6th.
Yeah, and again, a really fast inning after a kind of slow one on the other side. Campolindo just doesn't have to field the ball too often. They don't have to stay out there. They're out on the field. They warm up for as much time as they're out there fielding behind their pitcher. I mean, it's just on a hot day like today, you don't want to be standing in the sun for so long. Trust me, Greg. But that's what Campolindo has really, that's one of the battles they've won over Casa Grande. And again, even though Parnot's done a solid job since he's come in, he's been out there for a while.
Yeah, it's really been a tough outing here for Casa Grande. And, you know, baseball is baseball, so the game is, it always takes its time to end. But if the game continues as such, it's going to be a pretty brutal final half of the game for Casa Grande. So coming up to bat now, for the Cougars, is going to be the team's number 17, Trent Shelton, and the team's first baseman. So a batter that we've already seen a few times today.
Yeah, he's 3 for 3 on the day, doubled his first time up, and he scored 2 runs on 2 singles in the 3rd and the 4th. So he's having quite a day so far.
And he just got hit by a pitch, and luckily he had a pad on that elbow. And it looks like the umpire is not believing him when he said he was hit by the pitch. I mean, I heard the crack of it, and then when I saw that he had the elbow pad on, Casa Grande puts out there, it seems that Campolindo finds a way to get their hits, and they're able to connect those hits together.
Yeah, and really, because I think an important part of that connection that hits together is it's throughout their lineup. They don't really have a weak spot. 1 through 9, they have solid hitters throughout. And yeah, Parnot gave up 2 runs in 4 innings, but didn't have much help behind him. And obviously, Campolindo was putting the ball in play a lot and hitting the ball hard. But I think a nice job in early relief by Parnot.
So now Casa Grande is ready to roll. So Campolindo is going to be heading to the plate, and that's going to be James Coleman, number 10. Coleman is the team's designated hitter.
Yeah, he's actually subbing in for Petit, who was the designated hitter, but really wasn't
exactly. Yeah,
2 strikeouts this last year.
Petit was struggling, so the roster is going to be moved up a bit. So it seems that the Cougars and Max Luckhurst, their team's coach, are still playing in this to win it, as substitutions are being made, and the first pitch gets by him for a ball. James Coleman watches the second one go by him for a strike, 1-1.
Yeah, it's not often, I should say, that you see a DH stepped out of the game, because they should be the best hitter who's not in the field, and then in there to hit. But when Petit's just not seeing the ball as well today, or whatever it may be, just take him out of the game, let him end the season cheering his team on.
So here's a pitch swung on by the DH. It grounds to short. Throw is in time for the out. So it seems like they're struggling just from the DH position in general. But I guess, you don't really need a designated hitter if the rest of your batting order has 10 hits gathered in 6 runs.
Right.
So coming up now for Campolindo, or Campo as they're affectionately called, Adam Ramato, team's catcher, having a pretty good day so far, especially behind the plate. And the pitch. Swung on, and it is hit hard to right field. That's going to be a base hit. And here in the 7th, there's hit number 11. A couple lucky numbers there for the Cougars.
Yeah, and that was pretty much a carbon copy of Ramato's last hit. He got behind in the count his last time up and had a really kind of tough, ugly-looking swinging strike, too, and then just followed one, drilled it between first and second. And did exactly the same thing here, but earlier in that bat.
Yeah, so here's Connor Mcnally, who's had a lot of success on the base paths. And it's amazing how much more often we're saying Campolindo's names because of just how much more often they're up to bat. Lets this one get past him for a ball, though, so he's ahead in the count 2-0. As we now have a nice overcast in front of the sun, which I could say I'm grateful for.
Yeah, it's hot out here, definitely.
Here's the pitch. And that's going to be called a ball, too.
Yeah.
So, 3-0.
You said McNally's been great on the base paths. He's really been a nuisance, causing that pickle his last time up when he was at second base, and looked like he should have been out, but Speedy put enough pressure on the middle infield and over at third base, they couldn't get him out, so he advanced all the way from first after he singled, got over to third.
And he's going to swing a long one. It looks like it's going to fall short in right field, and it's gloved. Again, it seems like I can't anticipate seeing a home run here today, as every deeply hit ball, and we've seen one reach the warning track, and I think there are a lot of places where that would have been a home run over the right field wall, but not here. You got to work with your small ball, and that's exactly what Campolindo's doing. Here coming up to bat now is Bret Stevens, 6-foot senior, with one runner on and 2 outs. The pitch is going to be called a ball.
Looks like Campolindo is taking a few more pitches against Becker, trying to see what he's made of first, as I say that. Swing through strike.
They swing through strike, as that is the curse of the commentator, but I do agree with your point that it seems like they're slowing this up. They're letting time go. Maybe they're letting their outfield rest a bit. As again, we're in the 7th and 1 out away from the stretch. There's a ball.
And Ladesh has shown that when he gets a lot of rest in between innings, he does a really nice job of coming back strong. So even, I'm sure, they want to give him as much time in the dugout as they can, even if they're going to get out. They want to extend their at-bats.
Here's a looking strike. It's going to make the count even at 2. Bret Stevens hearing cheers from the crowd behind him, as this low ball is going to make the count full with 2 outs and a runner on. As if Bret gets my apologies, Bret Stevens, as I only hear his first name from over my shoulder, sees a pitch he likes, which he didn't like that one, and he's going to trot over to first base.
Now batting first baseman, number 17, Trent Shelton.
Trent Shelton's going to come to the plate now, number 17. 2 outs, and he's got an clean count. 2 runners on, as a hardly hit ball to either of the gaps in the outfield could really do some damage. First pitch is going to be called a ball, and then the pickoff throw was attempted to second base, not there in time. Good attempt there by Casa Grande, but no cigar. 1-0.
Yeah, Shelton got hit by a pitch that last inning.
Oh, that's right.
And you can see he really digs in close to the plate.
And he hit one toward right field, and all runners are going to stop. And with 2 outs, the bases are loaded, as that one had enough pepper on it. However, credit needs to be given to number 23 for Casa Grande, Jake Ilmorini, who was able to make the cutoff throw in time to stop the base runners from getting home. I got to say, that's exactly what you want out of your right fielder.
Yeah, that was a really nice, strong throw. One hopper right on the money of the plate. It looked like they were going to send Ramado at first, but they saw the third base coach saw the throw, and Ramado isn't the speediest runner. And I think that was definitely a good decision, because he would have been dead in the water.
Yeah, I think that would have been pretty rough for him there. Coming to the plate now is Robbie Tenorowitz. And he goes flying past that fastball. Counts now 0-2. Bases loaded, 2 outs, behind in the count 0-2. Not exactly where Tenorowitz wants to be, as this pitch is high for a ball, 1-2. As a well-hit ball here could quite possibly seal it for Campolindo. He is going to hit a chopper towards short, It's a slow roller. Throws to first. It's not there in time. The run gets home. Every runner advances safely. And there are still 2 outs. And the lead is now 7-0.
Yeah, that's really been the story of the day for Casa Grande. I mean, their pitchers haven't been so bad. They put their fielders in position to get outs, but just throw not in time. It was a slow hit ball. Had the makings of an infield hit. As another one's hit, it gets by
and
the
another
shortstop.
one's hitting the gap. Holy cow! 1 runner gets home, and they hold off the runner for advancing. And just like that, we're at 8-0 in the top of the 7th.
Yeah, when it rains, it pours, and what it looked like Becker was going to get out of this inning, but a walk here, a bloop single, and an infield single, and then things just start to unravel a little bit, and now it's 8-0.
So no balls and 1 strike here for the Cougars. 2 outs, bases loaded. Fastball in there for a strike. Up to bat now is Ryan Hooper from Campolindo High School. As he, wearing the number 7, has been spending his time out in right field. Not too much action out there, just a couple of fly balls. And the pitch is just a hair short of wild, but it does go into the dirt. Stopped cleverly by the catcher, and it's just going to count as a ball.
Yeah, nice block by Christie. That one was way outside in the dirt, but good job getting his chest in front of it, knocking it down.
And the pitch. High for a ball. As the count is now 1-2. And here's a looking strikeout that's going to go on the outside corner. And 3 base runners are stranded, but not after 2 runs, or not until 2 runs are scored. And the score here from Santa Rosa Junior College is the Campolindo Cougars 8 and Casa Grande Gauchos nothing.
Attention, please.
I mean, Greg, I think it's now or never time. Right now,
I think so. We're heading to the bottom of the 7th, and Casa Grande's, if they're going to pull off this Disney Channel miracle of a comeback, they're going to have to really start here, as every single out just makes it that much more difficult for them to get what they want.
Yeah, we've been saying the last few innings they need to get a run here so it won't be so hard in the last few innings. Well, we're down to 9 outs for Casa Grande, and you can't bank on an 8-run inning. So they need to get something across here. And we'll see how they do with their hitters coming to the plate. It's going to be the 3, 4, 5 hitters. But coming up, they need to get something across. And obviously, you can't score 8 runs with 1 swing, so they just need to try and get on base.
And as we do await here in this mistake of ours, and truly mine, is that we are actually now heading into the bottom of the 7th inning. And we knew that at the beginning of the game, but we just slipped in our usual understanding of baseball. But this is actually a really big possibility here. This is do or die here for Casa Grande.
Yeah, this all the more important.
As we see those 9 innings up there, and it was funny because the whole time I was thinking, I was like, wow, I just feel like there's so much left. But here we are now heading into the bottom of the 7th, and things are going to be quite do or die here. And leading off is going to be Anthony Bender, who started this game off struggling, and now is going to be his chance for some redemption.
Yeah, I mean, this is what you'd want to come up to the plate. They got their 3, 4, 5 hitters who have done something. I mean, they're 0 for 6 on the day so far. So if something's going to happen, it's going to be now.
Chopper to third. Gathered, gloved, out. There's the first one.
And Ladresh looks like he's primed to go the distance. Hasn't really slowed up at all the entire game.
Well, his pitch count has honestly been so low. I mean, he's had so much success. I don't have the numbers in front of me, but his amount of fly balls, off the top of my head, I can think of maybe 5 or 6 of them where it was just a low pitch count, able to get the out quickly. And here's a first strike for the Cougars. So up to bat for Casa Grande is Nate Bills, number 13, the team's first baseman. Lets that one go by him, wisely to him, and upsetting to the Cougar fans, but the count's 1-1.
Yeah, again, even though it missed on the outside corner, a beautiful pitch by Ladresh, breaking ball outside. And I think Bills just wouldn't have swung game, even if it was right down the middle. His knees just buckled, and you don't want to be embarrassed by a pitch like that.
So that one gets by him. It's now 2-1. And there's a strike. So we got 2 strikes here, 1 out. And again, Ladresh attempting for his what could be deserved as a player of the game award. And that pitch is foul, so the count stays the same. Even at 2s here with 1 out. Ladresh awaits Nate Bills, the first baseman. Here's a big curveball that goes foul. That had a big league hook on it, but the count stays the same, 1-2.
Yeah.
Or my apologies, 2-2.
Nice job by Bills just to get any contact with that.
That was
pitch.
coming over the plate.
Yeah,
that
that
would have
was-
been an ugly way to go down.
Yeah, it looked like it started out over his head, but it was going to end up right over the plate. And what a pitch! What a 12-6 curve.
And Bills is going to let that reach for that one, and he does hit it foul. As if he had gotten a bigger piece of it, that one would have probably gone pretty far off the end of his bat. But not quite there. Count still 1-2 with 1 out.
Yeah, I think this is definitely the longest at bat Casa Grande's had this game.
I think so too.
Bills has fouled off a few pitches, making Ladresh work.
And here's a grounder going to second. Ladresh had no trouble with that one. Throw comfortably thrown to first. And Casa Grande is down to 1 out. And this is the area where miracles do happen, but miracles are only special because of how rare they are. And really, the success here has been in the hands of Campolindo's pitcher, Mr. Matt Ladresh, who is at this point 1 out away from a complete game shutout. Ladresh's first pitch, a curveball on the outside corner, as that's what he's been looking for. And he sneaks that one right past Casey Longacre. And Longacre swings that one foul. Count is now 0-2.
And remember,
And
this is the last
indeed,
game
this
of the
is
season.
this is coming down to the Cougars being 1 strike away from finishing this one rather easily. Here's the pitch. Swung on, and that's going to go towards center field. It is called ball game. And a complete game shutout for Ladresh. The dog pile is in front of the mound. And ladies and gentlemen, your section champions are the Campolindo Cougars as they win this one over the Casa Grande Gauchos 8-0.
Yeah, I mean, from the beginning, after the first inning, it was 0-0, but since then,
The barn doors were blown open.
yeah, I mean, one run in the second, but really the third was the definitive inning where Bender just got knocked out of there, didn't even record an out after giving up 4 runs. So then Parno came in, did a solid job, but the Casa Grande bats could absolutely do nothing against Matt Ladresh.
Casa Grande's overall record on the season is going to be 27-3. So to see them go down like this has got to be frustrating, but congratulations to them on their season. They've clearly had a lot of success to get to this point, and it was a bit of a frustrating loss for sure. But again, their runner-up is going to should be satisfactory enough. But really, the credit is going to go to Matt Ladresh and the Campolindo High Cougars.
That's right, and stay tuned for the PlayOnSports.com postgame show, where we'll select our player of the game. That's coming up following the game on your destination for high school sports, PlayOnSports.com.
We're going to take a quick break. We'll be back right after this, but I do want to say that I think our thought on the player of the game is going to be pretty easy, but we'll try to keep you in suspense. Keep it right here on PlayOnSports.com, your destination for high school sports. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, as we do want to remind you of the final score before we get into our Play on Sports postgame show. It was the Campolindo High Cougars versus the Casa Grande Gauchos, and Campolindo ended up walking away with an 8-0 lead to get their CIF championship success.
Yeah, and we just received word that it's their 4th one in a row. So this is a powerhouse. They got a lot of Division I athletes on their team, and a player of the game, Greg, I think this one's an easy one.
I think it is. I think we're going to agree, and that's going to be a Matt Ladresh. And we were just informed by a fan, the kid's a junior, and he's already got a full ride waiting for him in college. And you just saw why, ladies and gentlemen. I mean, honestly, he's had so much success here, and it was a spectacle to see him be able to just pitch the lights out in such a tough situation. And he's going to be heading to Division I baseball after he finishes high school. This is such an area of talent.
Yeah, a 3-hit complete game shutout against one of the top teams in the state, and really the favorite team actually coming in. Just a great performance and a dominant one.
Yeah, so Casa Grande, a successful program. They're quite the powerhouse, but Campolindo is clearly a successful team. And, looking even right here, Santa Rosa Junior College is a great place for athletics. And honestly, it's such a strong sports environment. It was really a pleasure to see. But the stealing of the show came courtesy of Matt Ladresh. Again, as you mentioned, Sammy, he gave up 3 hits, and his team had 0 errors behind him. No runs given up. This is as dominant as you can get.
Yeah. I can't say anything else about it. There were 2 runners on at one point in the game, late in the game, but aside from that, really no threat at all to score from Casa Grande throughout the game. The hits and runners that they had were dispersed relatively non-threateningly, and just Matt Ladresh had their number the entire game.
So that's going to do it for us here. We thank you so much for joining us on this entire season, honestly, as this is really going to conclude it for our coverage of this section. It's been enjoyable for me. We've been able to enjoy a lot of sports in California. It's going to be something to look forward to the next year for both teams. But for Sammy Meckler, for Tim King, and myself, Greg Cotta, I want to remind you of the final score here from Santa Rosa Junior College. It's going to be the Campolindo Cougars, your section champions, winning 8-0 over the Casa Grande Gauchos. So thank you so much again. Have a good weekend, have a good afternoon, and take care. This is PlayOnSports.com, your destination for high school sports.
One match away from immortality.
This is a total team effort.